I've got a girl that I feel like, after talking to you off the air for like 2 seconds here, Fletcher, I feel like I kind of know you.
Yeah, I feel like we go way back.
We kind of do. And you know what? I think I tweeted this the other day. And by the way, Fletcher has this track Undrunk, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. But this track Undrunk is putting you on the map. It's what I tweeted was, Fletcher, it's happening. It's happening. Thoughts on just this, and you've been working a while on this.
I have.
It's happening. Mm-hmm. Your reaction to that, to this.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been really overwhelming. Like, I feel like I have been doing this for a long time, but I don't know. I feel like nothing really prepares you for hearing yourself on the radio for the first time. Like, it's been a dream of mine since I was a little girl. And like, when I woke up last week and heard Undrunk on the radio, it was like the most wild feeling I like could ever imagine. But it's good. Like, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy week. Like, a lot of emotions. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Like,
You're not nervous now,
all the things. I'm a very nervous person. I'm always nervous.
Really? You don't seem nervous.
I'm good at faking it.
All right. Well, I'm nervous too. There you go. Hey, I saw real quick. I saw like you were in New York. You know, this we're in LA right now, but of course this countdown goes everywhere. You were in New York and you're in a cab. I think our sister station Z100 was playing your song, and you're flipping out in a cab or an Uber. That's. I don't think that's ever. I've talked to so many artists that never gets old. I don't think.
No. I mean, I grew up driving from New Jersey to New York with my parents all the time, like going to see shows and auditions and stuff like that. And I used to like stare out the window and like imagine myself being the star of the music video that was like playing on the radio. And I would always think, I'm like, God, this would be so crazy if like my voice was ever on the radio. And so when I heard it for the first time on Z100, I just lost it, because I was like little Fletcher, like little Carrie is just like freaking out right now. And, I don't know. It felt like the culmination of just so much that's happened in my life. And I don't know, it was a wild experience. And I'm like, definitely, I'm like pinching myself like every time it happens. Like, I'm geeking out. Like, my roommate and I were driving home from a restaurant last night, and we like got in the car and we heard the very tail end of it, and we just like screamed like little girls at like a sleepover. It's so crazy.
Fletcher, is this story true? I think you told this story to somebody or on stage. When you pull up to the Capitol Records building and it's still kind of a new, yeah. You get signed, you're feeling all good, and you pull up and they never have your name at the front gate, right? Or the front desk?
Yeah, it's because I'm like still irrelevant. I roll up to Capitol Records and I'm just like, hey, Fletcher here. And I'm just like thinking like, oh yeah, this is the new signing, like thinking that they'll be stoked. And they're like, sorry, we don't have that name. And I'm like, oh, maybe you have it like under my first name, like Carrie Fletcher, because Fletcher's my last name. And they're like, no, we don't have that either. And they're like, we have a Karen Fisher. And I'm like, sick. Like, that's me. So now whenever I like do, like if I like go to the studio and write a bad song, or just like something happens, or like I feel super irrelevant, like someday, like one day I'm like, oh, it's Karen's song. It's a Karen Fisher problem.
So there is a Karen Fisher at Capitol. Have you met this person?
No, there's not.
Oh,
it's
there's
me.
not.
Like, they just write my name wrong. They've written my name wrong. There's not a Karen Fisher. Like, it's just.
Now you need a song on your EP or some something about Karen Fisher has to show up in your music.
It's like my alter ego. It's just like when I'm having a bad day, or like I want to like blame, like if I like am in a bad mood, I'm like, oh, it's Karen's fault.
Undrunk is about no names required. It's about a specific person, right?
Yeah, it is.
This is the part that I love, because I go through this with every artist. Does this person know this song is about them?
I think, yeah, they definitely know that it's about them. They definitely know.
Have they reached out, and what was the reaction?
They haven't reached out. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm like kind of scared. I'm like, do I have to give this person some like publishing for all this inspiration?
No. But I just find that I would love to be a fly on the wall, and I
would too. I said that. I was like, I really wish I could watch this person listen to all this music that I have coming.
Oh, is it a lot of it kind of based on?
Yeah, the whole thing is, it's like all about one person and like one experience, and just about having my heart like completely broken. And this whole body of work and EP that I have coming is kind of like my closure from that situation that I never got. So I'm curious to see what, I don't know, maybe like we should like film it or something.
You gotta.
It'd be so dramatic.
I swear. I mean, I know you're not doing this for revenge. You're doing this to get it out, in the closure.
I mean, it's my only way to sort of like move on from the situation, is to write about it, because I didn't have any other way to to get over it.
Right. But like I said, you're not doing it for revenge, but man, what sweet revenge is. Oh my, it's so good. It's just so perfect. And by the way, I was talking to, like Alessia Cara told me the other day, she's when she writes a song about someone, she will generally send them a little note like, hey, I'm going to release this. But my stance on that is, if you date a singer, writer, performer,
you're just like kind of signing up for it.
It's an assumed risk.
Yeah.
If you jack with them, you're going to end up in a song most likely. Yeah. So I think what he did or they did, who knows, is just it's part of the game. Good luck. Every time they turn on the radio, there's you just right there. Ugh. I love that.
I love it too.
Oh man,
I'm all about it.
I'm obsessed with. I hate to use this term, but it's the best way to describe it. Psycho fan encounters, crazy fan encounters. Most of your fans are lovely, beautiful, amazing people, but there's always one or two that's like, and this person you were telling me about off air, it seems like a good dude, but wow, he knows everything about you and knows where you are at all times.
Yeah.
Can you give me a little something on this?
Well, he's extremely intelligent, and I'll post something and he'll show up within like 10 minutes. And I'm like, you don't live anywhere near here. How are you? How did you get here? It's like you like transported. It's insane. And he literally just knows, like I'll post like a random like highway that I'm driving down. He like, that's this highway. And if you get off this next exit, make sure you stop at this Mexican restaurant that has dope nachos, which I know you love. Like, it's so crazy.
Wow. Has he been helpful?
Yeah.
Like, hey, did you ever try, like, maybe I will try the nacho.
But like, I'm not kidding. He knows everything about everything. Like, I'll post a picture out of a plane window and he's like, that's a 757. The engine runs off of whatever the hell. Like, it's bonkers.
You're flying at 15,000 feet altitude and something
and
the wind. Yeah.
He's like, well, based off the time that you took off, you should technically be passing over this state, which is known for its cheese. Like, I don't know. I always have cheese on my mind. I don't know why I keep saying cheese. Something with cheese today.
Well, we'll get you some cheese after this whole thing is done. All right, so this guy, you've met him and you've taken selfies. He's a nice dude. So
he's a nice dude.
Where does this relationship go? Where are we heading with this thing?
Like, he's like my dad. Like, he's literally been like following me since I was 16. Like, this is not like a new thing.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Like, he knows more about me than I think I know about myself.
All right, next time you come in, I want an update on how this whole thing is going.
How this relationship is progressing.
How this relationship goes.
It just keeps it's growing.
Okay.
It's growing.
Fletcher, you posted a pic. I think you posted it December 31st last year.
Okay.
You signing the record deal. I doubt you signed it on the 31st because record labels don't open. They're
on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but you're it's such a big moment to get that, to sign the deal. Especially with Capitol, walk me through that whole thing. The excitement, the rush, whatever happened there. Your family, whoever hanging out.
It was such a crazy experience. I made the decision to sign with Capitol because I had been going at this like independently for a long time, and I really just wanted to give this music the opportunity to be heard by people, and it's something that's just like so important to me, and to have the opportunity to have like a team around me that supports me and my vision and is like helping me bring this music to the world is like everything I could ever ask for. And it's just like, like seeing my dreams come true in the craziest way. It's been like a very humbling experience, and having my family there was really special, and all the people that are just like rocks in my life that I need, in this world. And yeah, it was crazy. I met Paul McCartney, and he,
so like what?
The fact that we're label mates blows my mind. I'm like, I'm not worthy.
What? So Paul, was he just randomly strolling? Like, hey, that's Paul McCartney.
He was at like a Capitol Congress, like an event that Capitol puts on, and we were having a conversation, and he was like, Fletcher, be great. And I was like, I'm going to tattoo that on my
that has to be a song or a tat. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I could die now, and I like panicked, and I was like, you too. And I was like,
you too.
I'm like, I think you have great opportunities out there, Paul McCartney.
You might go
I feel
places.
like you could be really good.
Did you get a pic with Paul?
Yeah, we did. We got a pic.
What a rush!
And my dad was sitting like in the back of the theater as this was happening because like he wasn't supposed to be there, and he's like slinked down so far in the seat, and I see him. Like the parents taking photos when they zoom in on the picture,
right?
And he's just like this. Like zooming, and I see him taking like 600 photos, and he's just like this.
waving like.
He's like, crazy.
So did your dad get a pic with Paul?
No, he didn't. But he just shows everyone his like 16 blurry photos of me that he has from like a million miles away.
What a crazy moment to sign your contract. Was it at Capitol in L.A. in Hollywood?
Yeah, it was. It was at it was at like a theater nearby.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
all right.
It's crazy.
The name that phrase, Fletcher be great.
Yeah.
Once again, it has to show
I'm
up
gonna name
somewhere.
my EP that. I don't have a name for my EP yet. I'm gonna call it that.
That
be great.
I know it sounds crazy,
I don't know.
but
Actually, I don't think I like it.
Well, you have to use that has to go somewhere. Fletcher, update me. You're hard at work on this new EP. I'm told the title is, it's not going to be Fletcher Be Great like the Paul McCartney thing, but the title is a bit secretive to my understang. You're not going to reveal that clearly.
It's secretive to me as well. Oh. I'm still figuring it out.
Oh, so you don't even know?
No.
Oh, gotcha. So,
I mean, it's like there's like some options, but it's a work in progress.
So give me an update. How's this thing coming along?
It's been amazing. I've been getting to work with like so many inspiring people. I work with like a lot of females and writers and collaborators. And it's been such a process. This producer Malay executive produced a lot of it. I did something with like John Ryan and Julian Bonetta and then Amy Allen and Jen DeSilvio and like all these like really sick people that I'm super inspired by. And I am just like so excited for this to be out in the world because I feel like I've been just like sitting on it for a long time.
So it's as far as the recording and writing, that's pretty much done. Are you still mixing or writing?
Yeah, everything. The writing's done, the recording's done. Like we're just putting like the little icing and the cherry on top.
Little ooey, little zing zing here and all that stuff.
Zing and the bling bling.
When's it come out? Do you have a date or like roughly? This clearly
It'll
next couple of months.
Spring, yeah, in the next couple of months, yeah.
You planning on doing some touring, life on the road, all that stuff?
Hell yeah! I can't wait to get out on the road and get in front of the people that have been supporting me since day one, and then the new people, and I can't wait. Live performing is like my favorite thing. I have performance anxiety, but like once I'm on stage, I feel the most me that I could ever possibly feel.
So the lead up, the whole, oh my God, getting ready.
It's terrible.
What about the walk to the stage? That's
terrible. I feel like I get a sense of calm like 30 seconds before I go on. But up to that, it's just absolute chaos.
I would imagine you've talked about this with other people, and I would think that's fairly common, is it not?
Actually, like, I really haven't. I don't know. I feel like there's such a stigma about it that it's just like you have to go on stage and be super confident and be all of these things, and that like you must be like that in your everyday life. Like I'm a really anxious person. I grew up with like horrible OCD my whole life, like really bad anxiety, social anxiety. And so it's an interesting thing, like what I do, like having to just put yourself out there and be super vulnerable. But like once I'm in that moment and I like feel the energy of the audience and like I'm able to give them my energy, it's like the most freeing feeling. And like I wish I could bottle that feeling and like remind myself of that feeling when I'm feeling really insecure or like doubting myself as an artist or a performer. I wish we could bottle feelings.
I totally get it. Real quick, when you played, I heard a story, if you can tell the story, when you played Undrunk for your family the first time, and we're talking the unedited version. I'm told that you're like, when certain parts would come up in the song, and I'm not sure exactly which parts are edited out for the, but like you would cough before like, you didn't want your mom or whoever to hear something. Give me that.
Yeah, well, I just remember because my mom kept being like, "Why aren't you playing us like your new song? Like, why aren't you playing us this music?" And I'm just like, maybe because I'm like talking about like dropping the F-bomb and like all of these sort of like uncomfortable taboo things that like I'm super down to talk about, but playing it for your family is just like a weird experience that like nobody probably wants to do, because then it's like watching, like, have you ever like watched like a sex scene with your parents when like you were younger? It's like everyone's like just kind of sweaty, or somebody gets up to go to the bathroom, or like you just want to not be in the moment, or you start talking, you're like, "Mom, that dinner was incredible." Like you just talk over it because it's so weird, because everyone knows that happens, but like nobody wants to envision anybody else like thinking about them doing that.
And it's even worse with your song because you're talking about you,
No, I know. And it's like so vulnerable. And I'm just like, I'm like playing it for my dad. I'm like, I like start coughing, like sneezing over as the thing, or like rolling the window down. I'm like, I have to go. Or like turn the volume down. I'm like, Dad, it smells weird in here. Like, do you smell that? And he's like, Carrie, like, I'm listening to your music.
I can picture you with the window.
It's yeah, just being like annoying little kid.
So now after all, you know, the song is out and they've heard it 1,000 times. Now, does your mom sing the unedited full blast, or your dad?
Like, my dad doesn't even know what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's just like just love it. My dad's a character. He's the craziest person in the world. And my mom like loves it. She just goes, God, that's such a smash. I love it.
God, good for her.
She's my biggest fan.
Oh my God. I love everything about it. All right. Fletcher is, hey, by the way, shout out to your mom and dad.
Yeah. Shout out mom and dad. And my brother. I love him too.
Talk about Undrunk. What do we not know yet?
Undrunk is a song about wishing you could undo last night and also undo loving your ex. It's like something as simple as like wishing you didn't, like regretting a decision you made the night before or drinking too much or whatever, but also something as deep as wishing you could unlove somebody and undo meeting the person that just like totally ripped your heart out and stomped it into a million pieces. Dark.
You know what though? But a lot of people, everybody goes through that. So I can see why this song is just clicking with resonating with a lot of people, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's also a warning to all future relationships, like don't jack with me or you'll be in a song too.
You're right. It's so true.
Deal with that. Fletcher, 2-part question here.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest crowd, it's sort of the good and the bad. Biggest crowd you've ever played for.
Oh.
And have you ever been booed?
Oh my God. I literally have had like the two most extremes. A few years ago, I played a few shows with my friends, the Knox, when they were opening for Justin Bieber on like some of his Canada shows. And that was insane. And it was like the craziest thing ever, just like being in a space with that many people. And also just like nobody knew who I was or cared. And so people would be, I just kept saying Justin Bieber's name to like hear the screams. I'd be like, my name is Fletcher, who's excited for Justin Bieber? So like it was kind of for me, but like definitely wasn't. And then, I played a show in New York where there were 2 people.
Oh boy. God, that's the worst.
I'm not joking, like 2 people. I was like, why am I here? Why am I even doing this? Why am I doing music? Who cares?
Did the 2 people boo you, or they were just?
No, they did. I never was booed, but they like it was just it was just like, oh, this is sad.
Hey, on the bright side, were those 2 people really into it? Like they were feeling Fletcher?
Like not even.
Did they? Describe that show if you can. Like just 2 people.
I don't know. It was in some like random like basement venue in New York, and it was. I don't know. It was like in my early days.
2 people.
That shit keeps me humble.
Oh my God.
Keeps me grounded.
Whoever those 2 people were, if they only knew, right?
Yeah, if they only knew.
Oh my God. All right.
Started from the bottom.
Now we hear. Look where you're going. God, Fletcher's hanging out. I'm told it. Undrunk took you like 2 hours or less to write, something like that.
I was in Manhattan. It was a really rainy night. I was writing with my friends One Love, Kinetics, and Amy Allen, and it was actually our first time. It was me and like the co-writers, like first time working together ever. And we were taking some shots of tequila, and we were just like talking about my like relationship experience and my ex, and I was like, God, I wish I could just like unlove like this person as we're taking a shot of tequila. And somebody was like, yeah, and like I'm kind of like, I wish I was undrunk so we could like write this song. and then I was like, whoa, magic, let's write it. And
that's there it is.
Yeah. But it was just like over the course of like a couple hours over the night. And it was like, I had a really special feeling when we were writing it.
I've been told that some, I don't know how close of friends you are with her, but I know you know Halsey. Mm-hmm. And she told me that most of her songs come to her, I forget the time, it was like an hour, like not recorded, not mastered, mixed, but like, the meat and potatoes of the song in about, an hour, 2 hours, something like that. So is that the magic number there, like a couple of hours? Or if it takes longer than that, do you just throw it out?
No, I think it's different from everybody. Like for everybody, I think everybody has like a different experience. Some songs like I've written in like 15 minutes and other songs I've like edited and worked on over the course of like 3 or 4 days. So I think it doesn't make it a bad song if it's taking you a while. If it's something that like you have a really good feeling about, then keep at it and get it to a place, but if you're working on it forever and you still don't love it, then probably scrap it.
Screw it. Got it. Okay.
Garbage.
Yeah. Throw that crap away. You told me that you have a a bit of a paranormal story?
I had a little bit of a paranormal experience. I'm also I'm scared of it, but I'm very intrigued. I'm also really into conspiracy theories. Like I will get into a black hole of YouTube and stuff for hours.
What's your conspiracy that drives you crazy?
The Denver bunker.
Oh, the airport.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I haven't been to the Denver airport.
The art is weird.
Yeah, it's all.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on there that we got to figure out.
Like Area 51, the history of Area 51 is something there. Are they doing something with UFOs similar to the Denver airport? There's something going on underneath, or so they say, the Denver airport, and the artwork in there is, families go through the airport, and it should be a friendly place, and there's some kind of menacing looking artwork.
But I also get really nervous, because I talk about conspiracy theories a lot, that the government is tapping my phone, and so I literally will if I start talking about it with somebody, I'll just throw my phone away, and I'm they're gonna flag me as a weirdo, and then they're gonna kill me.
Oh my God! Well, I'm with you on the Denver airport thing, and if the government's not tracking you, Facebook is. So there's that.
Now I can't run away from it. Now they know what I look like. I'm talking on.
Oh, you're screwed.
Radio. Screwed.
Give me this paranormal. Whatever happened, and this is 100% true. This is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was at the Andaz Hotel in West Hollywood a few years ago, and I was doing my hair in the bathroom mirror, and there was also a closet behind me that had a mirror on it as well. And I start doing my hair, I'm doing my hair and makeup, and there's suddenly I'm looking in the reflection, and there's a man standing behind me, and still to this day I know exactly what he looks like. He had blonde hair, a scruffy beard, and I turn around and he was gone. And it was the weirdest feeling, and I was Mom, I was was somebody just in here? Did you see that? Because she was sitting right there. She's what the hell are you talking about? And then I ended up doing some research about it, and there had been that some artist had died of some sort of overdose in the closet of the Andaz Hotel, the hotel that it was previously, and that's where I saw this figure was in the closet. I don't know. It was really weird. It was really freaky.
Did you see a pic of the artist that died?
And there was a picture, and there was a picture of somebody, and I didn't know if this was the person, and it looked like the dude that I saw.
Whoa! Did it look? You know how movies picture spirits misty and whatnot. Did it look like a misty looking thing, or it looked like a guy?
A guy.
What the? All right.
It freaked me out. That's the only time that's anything really paranormal has ever happened to me, I think.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Do you have, at the risk of sounding like a complete crazy woman, what do you think it was?
I think it was a ghost.
What else can it be?
What else could it be? I'm a spiritual person. So we go somewhere. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I believe, but believe in energies for sure. I mean, scientifically, we are made of atoms and energies, and energy never dies.
I'm going to get you on my podcast. I have
Let's
a podcast.
talk about it.
I have a podcast. It's called Paranormal-ish, iHeartRadio app, among other places. We need to dive into this.
Go, yeah.
Oh my God! All right, Fletcher's hanging out. Fletcher, have you ever had we all make mistakes on stage? Have you made a noticeable on stage mistake? One where even the audience was like, "Oof, I don't think she meant to do that."
Okay, so I made a mistake before I went on stage because I ate chicken shawarma before a performance.
Chicken shawarma?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is...
In Chicago. It's I think it's Greek. It's Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yeah.
Chicken shawarma.
Okay.
5 minutes before I went on stage, and the whole set, I was I'm fully throwing up. I'm fully going to throw up. I was burping every other... I kept having to stop because I was getting sick. I was I'm never going to be invited to perform anywhere ever again.
So did you make it through the performance? I guess you
made
it through
without... I
threw
up after.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was literally every 3 minutes, I was I'm going to run off, and then I'm going to have to figure out what to say when I come back to this audience. Sorry guys, I just had to throw up some chicken shawarma.
Oh my God.
So it was a terrible, it was horrible. It was horrible.
So I guess we've learned
I'm never going back to Chicago.
Yeah, well, you never have chicken shawarma before. That's you learn something. Never have chicken shawarma or anything. Yeah,
so that was my mistake.
All right.
I learned a lesson.
Was it tasty chicken shawarma?
No, it wasn't even that good.
All right, there we go. Your life is about to get just ridiculously crazy. I mean, have you had your "oh my God, I think I'm famous" moment yet?
Absolutely not. I'm waiting for it.
What about
hit me with it?
Well, it's gonna get weird, and it's happening right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you were telling me this selfie? I've heard some weird stories. People ask for selfies. The autograph is dead. It's all about selfies.
I
clearly.
know, isn't that so sad?
It is kind of sad.
I actually have had people ask me to sign their cell phones though, and I'm like, "Are you sure this is like an expensive belonging?" And they ask me, like, I'm like, "What if?" And then I get really nervous because I'm like, "Oh, what if I spell my name wrong?
That would
You're gonna
suck.
hate me forever."
Have you had the sign my skin for a tattoo thing yet?
No, yeah. Well, somebody has a tattoo, like a full leg sleeve of my whole first EP.
You're kidding.
I swear on my life, every inch of their skin is full with lyrics and song titles.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So do they? I mean, that's a fan clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get free tickets to everything for the rest of your life? I mean, that's just.
Well, they live in like Germany, which is crazy. So
wow,
we ran into each other at Coachella, and she was like, "Look at my leg," and I was like, "That's." I hope I'm still around in 5 years.
Oh my god!
For your sake.
What, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
All right, and she's not the one that asked you for the selfie, is she?
No, but I had somebody ask me for a selfie. Like, I like really had to go to the bathroom, and then this girl starts telling me like her whole life story about how I like, like everything she's been through, and I'm like trying to just be really sympathetic, but I'm just like, I'm about to like pee all over you.
This was in the actual, like, you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, and I'm like halfway in the door. I'm like, it's so close yet so far.
I can see it. So did you take the selfie in there, and did you little
selfie, little pee-pee.
Then did Jason Derulo
little party.
Sounds like a great time. Jason Derulo told me he was like in there's in some of these stadiums, these disgusting troughs, if you know what I'm talking about. Just terrible.
Yeah,
there's no divider there. And Jason said he was, doing his, and somebody taps him on the shoulder. As he's doing it for a selfie, he's like, dude, give me a minute. And let's just, so.
I think my dad did that to Justin Timberlake.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No.
My dad went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. I just like keep talking about my dad because he's nuts.
I got to meet your dad.
So he was at the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
This is
because my dad works in the car business.
He sang this. He took a picture with the selfie kid in the stadium. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, my dad sees Justin Timberlake in the bathroom, and he goes up to him and taps him, and he calls me. He's on the phone. He's like, Carrie. He goes, I'm in the bathroom with Justin Timberland.
Oh, God, no.
Timberland.
Oh no!
And I'm like, Dad. He's like, yeah, and he's with Furby. Furby.
No,
Fergie. I'm like, Dad, you're gonna ruin my life.
So did you talk? Did he pass the phone, or did
like I like kind of heard him in the background. He's like, hi. Like definitely was just like, who's this crazy man who's like, as I'm peeing, calling his daughter. It was like a lot of like weird vibes there.
Promise me next time you come in, you got to bring your dad in. I need to talk to Dad.
He literally says like, he's like, I was a star in a past life.
He
like,
must have been.
He thinks he's like belongs in Hollywood.
Oh my God!
I have stories for days.
God, shout the Pop and Justin Timberland and Furby. That was awesome.
His two favorite artists.
He loves them, no doubt. Fletcher, did you have a good time, Fletcher?
I had such a good time. We got to do it again.
Absolutely. This is the first of many. A quick recap here. Undrunk is out. Get on it. Or you're a terrible person. New EP later on this year. No rush, but when it's ready, you guys will know about it. Capitol Records needs to work on their parking situation, get your name on the list. Your dad needs to stay away from Justin Timberland and Furby in the bathroom. And you saw a ghost somewhere in Hollywood. We have to discuss that in detail in the future.
Yeah, we'll dive in.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official.
Yeah.
Fist bump to make it official, Fletcher.
Hell yeah.
Bam.